Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories making headlines.
Are you aware that this is what they testified?
I'm aware of what they were saying, and I deny it very, very strongly.
Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who has been on special leave since July, has denied that he is linked to any criminal cartels in the country.
These bribes were not coming in a form of like enticing you anymore. It was coming in a form of threatening you as well.
A crime intelligence officer known as Witness B has told the Madanga Commission of Inquiry of serious threats that arose from a man believed to be a friend of a former police officer, Michael Puletau, to disregard the investigations into the murder case of Armand Swart. And former President Jacob Zuma has been ordered to pay back the 28.9 million rand spent on his corruption trials legal fees with interest. It has just gone 8 o'clock. Good evening to you and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. I am Paulette Now. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's begin with this tonight. Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who has been on special leave since July, has denied that he is linked to any criminal cartels in the country. He has been testifying on the fourth and final day at the ad hoc committee investigating allegations raised by KZN Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Ntantla Mkhwanazi.
Mchunu has been on special leave since he was accused of political interference in the disbanding of the political killings task team. He had a tough time explaining his relationship with Northwest businessman Brown Mokhotsi, who's also alleged to be his comrade and alleged to have supplied confidential police information to alleged underworld figure Vusimuzi Ket Matlala, and allegedly informed Matlala about the disbandment of the PKTT.
Both General Masimula and Mkhwanazi testified that you disbanded the PKTT under the mistaken belief that it was the unit investigating drug cartels in Gauteng. Are you aware of that?
No, I deny that very strongly.
But are you aware that this is what they testified?
I'm aware of what they were saying, and I deny it very, very strongly.
Their testimony draws a link between that decision and your alleged association with Brown Mokhotsi, who in turn is linked to Ket Matlala, reportedly tied to a Gauteng-based drug cartel. You have denied this claim, but why do you believe two of the country's most senior police officers would make such serious allegations against you if there was no basis for it?
It's something that I'm still quite baffled about, that I'm associated with drug cartels.
Mchunu has also dismissed previous testimony by Mkhwanazi that there was a Gauteng-based criminal cartel dubbed the Big Five.
In the report, as it turns out now, there was no Big Five in the report that I received, but there were other, I would say, cartels that were identified, and I want to say that I am not linked to any.
The ad hoc committee will hear testimony from former police minister Bheki Cele on Thursday. Pulelani Philip, SABC News, Parliament.
Meanwhile, a crime intelligence officer known as Witness B has told the Madanga Commission of Inquiry of serious threats that arose from a man believed to be a friend of a former police officer, Michael Puletau, to disregard the investigations into the murder case of Armand Swart. During a partially in-camera testimony, Witness B told the Commission that investigating officers were instructed to choose one of two options: take a brown envelope or face death.
You, like us investigators, we only have two options. You only have an option to accept the bribe and do what those criminals want, or you'll die. Actually, the second one, it's not even an option. It's like that. It's either you do this or you will die. And then where the suspects were concerned, there was a time where a person was informing one of our members to say, now there's only 3 options. The suspect will escape, the suspect will kill you, or the suspect will buy his way out. These bribes were not coming in a form of like enticing you anymore. It was coming in a form of threatening you as well.
In other related news, Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi has announced a major reconfiguration of the province's crime prevention wardens, also known as traffic wardens. He says the wardens will cease to operate in their current form and will be absorbed into the Gauteng Traffic Police Department. The announcement follows mounting scrutiny over the legitimacy of the wardens' establishment.
The majority of the 8,800 crime prevention wardens will undergo formal training and be integrated into Gauteng's Traffic Police Department.
The wardens will cease to exist in their current format. This will be done in a phased approach. They will now be repurposed to be part of the Gauteng Traffic Police and Special Law Enforcement Units, SLEU, and other strategic security partners that will work with them. To do so, they are now taken back to training to enter into an extensive and intensive training for the next 18 to 36 months so that they can qualify to be part of the Gauteng Traffic Police.
This announcement follows revelations made during a parliamentary ad hoc committee meeting which questioned the legality of the wardens. It emerged that they were set up without proper legal backing. However, Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi has responded by saying the wardens were established with the approval of the Justice Minister.
The Gauteng provincial government can create these traffic roads because the Constitution and the National Traffic Act 93 of 1996 give the provinces the powers to do so.
Lesufi also assured that the wardens will continue to receive their stipends during the training period. Balentle Mtetwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Welcome back to this now. Former President Jacob Zuma has been ordered to pay back the 28.9 million rand spent on his corruption trial's legal fees with interest. The presidency and the state attorney faced off with Zuma in a bid to recover the legal fees that the former president had incurred in his personal capacity. The Gauteng High Court Division in Pretoria has ordered him to pay back the millions the state had spent on his legal team for the arms deal corruption trial. The court also ordered Zuma to pay interest on the 28.9 million rand. The money must be paid within 60 days, failing which his assets or pension must be attached. Judge Anthony Miller granted permission to the state attorney to seek a writ of execution in respect of immovable or movable assets of the former president if he fails to pay the money within 60 days. The DA's application regarding the interest which sought to attach Zuma's pension or other assets was also granted. Zuma's legal team had argued that the funds paid to his legal team were not as a result of his doing, but followed government's legal advice. To this now, National Police Commissioner General Fani Masemola says they are looking for 4 suspects in connection with the mass shooting in Westbury, Johannesburg. 2 teenagers were fatally shot and 5 others wounded when gunmen opened fire on the house, in Westbury yesterday. Police believe the attack to be gang-related.
Calm has been restored in Westbury following a deadly mass shooting on Tuesday. The area has become notorious for violent crime, and residents say they fear for their lives. The grandmother of 2 of the victims remembers hearing gunshots.
I saw all the boys lying on the stoop. All of them were shot. It was so disgusting. It was so traumatizing. I didn't know what to do. I had to stop the cars in the street to assist us to take the children to the hospital.
One of the survivors of the gun attack is lucky to be still alive after a bullet grazed his right ear. Despite police insisting that the attack is gang-related, he says he and his friends are not affiliated with any gangs. He believes the perpetrators are people known within the community.
2 friends were shot dead. The other 4 is still in hospital. They discharged me. Still got a bullet in my ear. Yeah.
National Police Commissioner General Fani Masimula visited the area on Wednesday following the deployment of the anti-gang unit. He's appealed to communities to help police root out criminal elements within the community.
We do have some traces which we are following, and there are those behind the scenes assisting us from the community, but we are calling more to come and assist us in tracing these youth so that we can bring them.
Masimula also lambasted some parents for allowing their children to roam around, involving themselves in drugs, when in fact they should be at school. Calvin Rudla, SABC News, Westbury, Johannesburg.
Tembisa Hospital on Gauteng's East Rand has been declared an active crime scene by the organization Undoing Tax Abuse OUTA that held a demonstration outside the controversial hospital. A damning report from the Special Investigating Unit revealed that over 2 billion rand has been lost through tender, fraud and irregularities, with the possibility of the amount rising as investigations continue. OUTA slammed the SIU for dragging its feet on the probe, which dates back to the murder of whistleblower Babita Diokran in 2021.
On a quest for justice for slain whistleblower Babita Diokran, and in support of the ongoing investigations into tender irregularities and fraud by the SIU and the Hawks, this public health facility has been declared an active crime scene by the organization Undoing Tax Abuse OUTA.
It must be declared an active crime scene. With all what has happened here, we still fight for justice for Babita. Other than that, we're happy that SIU has released a preliminary report. We're anticipating the second one. We don't know when.
The organization believes the symbolic action of attaching crime scene ribbons to the fence shows support for the continuous fight against corruption.
There's a lot of corruption, especially in hospitals. When you go to hospital, you don't even get medication. They only give you Panado. So a lot of money is eating or it goes down to the drain.
These members say the hospital will remain an active crime scene until the investigation and prosecution process has been completed. Rifule Mekwa, SABC News, Tembisa, east of Johannesburg.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's shift focus to this now. President Cyril Ramaphosa is on a mission to strengthen trade and political relations with Southeast Asian countries. Since the United States imposed hefty tariffs on South Africa, Pretoria is working hard to increase trade volumes with traditional allies and pushing for alternative markets. Asia, as a region, presents South Africa with massive opportunities as an alternative market.
President Cyril Ramaphosa is pushing ahead with vigor to position South Africa to do business with Asian countries. His first stop is Indonesia, which is South Africa's third largest trading partner in Asia. This newest member of BRICS is a strong old ally of South Africa.
I'm particularly pleased that today we have Indonesia as the latest or newest member of the BRICS family. During our discussions, we affirmed the importance of expanding and broadening bilateral relations on both political and economic fronts from existing bilateral mechanisms. We agreed on the need to increase trade between our two countries.
In this visit, trade and investment featured high on their agenda.
We had a good discussion today concerning our bilateral relations. In the economic field, our trade has increased significantly in the past 5 years.
President Ramaphosa's next stop is Vietnam. Ditaba SABC News.
Electricity and Energy Minister Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa says while the government accepts its obligation to the environment through cleaner energy, coal remains a strategic resource and part of the country's energy mix. He was delivering a keynote address at the 14th Annual Windaba Conference at the Cape Town International Convention Centre.
It's a big part of that mix. I must not mislead you, suggesting that we are going to abandon coal. It will be a height of folly. No one does that. If we've got a strategic mineral, we are well endowed, and it's important that we pursue the mix. So the conversation is about the mix. One of the things I encourage people is that the players in the space, we can have a broader conversation, but don't invest your time in discrediting another energy source. Invest your time in firming up and showing the strength of the energy source that you support.
And now let's look at your financial indicators as at 7:30 this evening. That's all we have time for tonight. Much gratitude for joining us. We leave you with the latest weather forecast. Until next time, God bless. Pula.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Now let's take a quick look at what to expect in our weather details for this evening going into tomorrow. Clear skies expected across the country, but fog patches expected along the south coast of the Western Cape, extending into the west coast of the country. Going into tomorrow, those morning fog patches will remain, extending into the whole south coast of the Western Cape as well as the west coast of the Northern Cape province. Now isolated showers and thunder showers expected over the western parts of the Eastern Cape, extending into that northeastern corner of the Western Cape as well as the southwestern parts of the Northern Cape province. And now the central and eastern parts of the country can expect clear and sunny skies going into tomorrow. We're expecting some felt fire conditions over most of the Eastern Cape province, into the Western Cape and the central and southern parts of the Northern Cape province, where runaway fires are highly possible. Overnight temperatures are expected to remain fairly cool over the central interior. 12 as a minimum in Bloemfontein, 11 in Kimberley, Bethlehem, slightly cooler there with a minimum of 7, 11 here in Johannesburg, Pretoria 13 overnight, 15 up north in Messina, Mnambiti 8 overnight, quite cold there in Emelo with a minimum of 5. Along the east coast, Richards Bay 15, 16 in Durban overnight, 17 in Gqeberha. Cape Town will have a minimum of 14 degrees. We're expecting temperatures to rise quite significantly in most parts of the country. Quite hot there in Messina with a maximum of 32, 31 in Palabora. Warm in Johannesburg at 27 degrees, 28 in Pretoria, 31 in Mnambiti, Mthatha 36, 35 in East London, 27 as a maximum in Gqeberha, 22 in Cape Town. Sutherland quite hot with a maximum of 31. That's all from the weather desk.